A viral video allegedly showing prominent basketball coach Yung Kam-wah forcing a student to slap himself sparks public outrage. Yung apologizes and has been suspended. Some parents received incorrect Primary One Central Allocation results a day earlier. The education chief apologizes for the technical glitch. And Russian missile and drone attacks killed at least 18 people across Ukraine overnight, marking one of Moscow's largest assaults in recent months. Good evening, you're watching Cable News. I'm Cheryl Yun. Former Hong Kong basketball representative and Basketball Association Vice Chairman Yung Kam-wah has been suspended from his coaching duties at Hon-wah College after allegedly forcing a student to slap himself during a training session. Yung has apologized on social media, stating that he will reflect deeply, while the school clarified that the incident happened about 2 years ago. Jeremy Zhu reports.
Footage has emerged showing the incident taking place on the basketball court, in which Yung, the head coach of the school's basketball team, grabbed a male student's left hand, forcing him to violently slap his own face at least 3 times. 2 coaches were also present, but no one intervened. Hon-wah College has issued a notice clarifying that the incident occurred during the 2023-24 academic year, and Yung has now been suspended from his coaching duties. The school has also provided appropriate support to the students involved whilst remaining in contact with the police. In response, the former athlete has apologized on social media, stating that he recognizes the harm caused to the student, will reflect deeply on his actions to ensure such an incident is never repeated, and stands ready to fully cooperate with any subsequent investigations. This pupil said he had personally witnessed Yung being physically and verbally abusive, even striking others on their legs with a rattan cane. Another student said he had heard rumors of Yung's violent teaching methods back when he was in primary school. Secretary for Education Christine Choi said the Bureau is treating the matter seriously. The school must submit a report as soon as possible as authorities launch a full system review. Jeremy Zhu, Cable News.
Many parents received an unexpected surprise this morning when the Education Bureau mistakenly sent out Primary One Central Allocation results via SMS 1 day earlier than scheduled. Education Minister Christine Choi apologized for the error and urged parents to ignore early messages, stating that tomorrow's notification will be final. Multiple parents reported receiving text messages this morning, notifying them of the 2025 Primary One Central Allocation results, with registration dates also listed as 2025. Some parents noted that they had previously received correct 2026 allocation reminder messages, but the latest notifications showed 2025 details, leading them to question the authenticity of the messages. The Education Bureau issued a statement apologizing for the mistake and clarifying that the messages were sent in error. It urged parents to ignore the early notifications and confirmed that the official results will still be released on Wednesday as originally scheduled. The Bureau added that after investigation, the incident was not related to any hacker intrusion. A crisis management team has been established to follow up on the matter. Legislative Council member and Education Sector Representative Tang Fei described the incident as not ideal, stressing that with Secondary One allocations scheduled for July, such technical glitches must not happen again, and urged the Bureau to thoroughly investigate the cause and strengthen future operational checks. Chief Executive John Lee hailed the tangible progress of a high-powered delegation he is leading to Central Asia, announcing that more than 40 memoranda of understanding have been signed with Kazakhstan, and direct flights from Hong Kong to Almaty will relaunch in the first quarter of next year. Evelyn Bai reports.
Continuing his first official visit to Central Asia, Lee attended a meeting with Biderek National Investment Holding. Following separate talks with Kazakh President Kassam-Jomart Tokayev, and Prime Minister Ojas Bektinov. Speaking at a ceremony, he said the trip yielded multiple progress.
I'm pleased to note that during this visit, 43 MOUs and agreements have been concluded by the delegation with companies and organizations from Kazakhstan. They span aviation, finance and trade, innovation and technology, the digital economy, green development, and more.
The SAR chief also announced that direct flights from Hong Kong to Almaty will be in service soon. Cathay Pacific confirmed that starting first quarter of next year, they will operate 3 direct flights per week. They also pledged to extend the visa-free period to 30 days for Hong Kongers in Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan, and Kyrgyzstan, up from the current range of 10 to 30 days. He added that Hong Kong and Kazakhstan will speed up discussions on a comprehensive avoidance of double taxation agreement, as well as discussions on an investment promotion and protection agreement. Evelyn Bai, Cable News.
The latest gravitrap index, which monitors the spread and breeding of the Asian tiger mosquito, or Aedes albopictus, has risen, with Chun Wan West and Qingyi North recording the highest levels among the survey areas. Hong Kongers with fresh mosquito bites blamed the sweltering weather. Evelyn Bai reports.
The 6th batch of gravitrap index for June hit 37.7% in Chun Wan West, the 3rd level, meaning extensive distribution of Aedes albopictus in the area, prompting staff from the Food and Environmental Hygiene Department to conduct mosquito control operations there. One man said the hotter the weather gets, the more mosquitoes, especially triggering by rainfall and stagnant water in recent days. In Qingyi North, the index reached 33.3%. Even though some mosquito trapping devices were in place. I get bitten so often during my morning exercises that both my hands are covered in marks. I just put toothpaste on them, one woman said. This woman said she was so afraid of the mosquitoes that she kept windows and doors shut and prepared repellents at home. The FEHD explained that, compared with last year, temperatures began climbing earlier and rainfall in April and May increased substantially, creating ideal conditions for mosquito growth. Therefore, the rise in the gravitrap index occurred sooner this year. Targeted mosquito control measures are now underway in locations with high mosquito infestations, it added. Evan Bai, Cable News.
Protests erupted in Kenya over U.S. plans to isolate Ebola-exposed Americans at a local military base, as confirmed cases in the neighboring Democratic Republic of Congo spiked to 343, with 48 deaths reported. In the central Kenyan town of Nanyuki, several hundred locals marched in opposition to the proposal to use the nearby U.S. Laikipia Air Base for isolating American citizens exposed to Ebola. Carrying signs against the isolation center, demonstrators burned tires and debris and gathered outside the base gates. Police fired warning shots into the air to disperse the crowd. Protesters accused the U.S. of selfishness, arguing that Ebola-exposed Americans should be repatriated home instead of sent to Kenya. They emphasized that Laikipia is not an epidemic zone and should not bear the risk of an outbreak. In the DRC, where the outbreak originated, confirmed cases have climbed to 343 with 48 deaths. Trish Newport, an emergency program manager with Doctors Without Borders, or MSF, highlighted the severe strain on response efforts due to limited diagnostic capacity.
The great thing about Ebola is it's not infectious if you're not symptomatic. To talk about how it's transmitted, to reduce the fear, to explain that there's not pandemic potential, but that there is the risk of spread if we're not able to have diagnostic capacity.
Newport added that with hundreds of samples still awaiting testing, the inability to quickly identify cases is making containment extremely challenging. Ukraine has been hit by a massive wave of Russian missile and drone attacks. Cities across the country, including the capital Kyiv, came under fire, leaving at least 18 people dead and over 100 injured. Around 140,000 residents were temporarily left without power. Jeremy Zhu has more.
A giant fireball erupted and thick smoke billowed into the sky as airstrikes struck high-rise buildings in Kyiv. The capital was hit by consecutive waves of attacks starting at around 1:30 a.m. local time. A 24-story apartment block was reportedly hit by a missile, causing part of the structure to collapse. The Ukrainian military claimed that Russian forces primarily targeted Kyiv, launching a total of around 730 missiles and drones at more than 30 targets. The vast majority of them were intercepted. However, they also warned that the east and northeast remain under missile threat, with drone swarms moving towards multiple regions. During the raids, authorities urged the public to remain in shelters. Many fled to Kyiv's underground metro stations with their belongings, setting up tents to rest. The central southern city of Dnipro and Kharkiv in the northeast were also targeted. Multiple buildings were struck, triggering intense blazes. Russia said it had completed its offensive against Ukrainian military-industrial facilities in retaliation for earlier attacks. However, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky warned that Russia is still capable of launching massive attacks, adding that their air defense forces have been placed on high alert around the clock, doing everything possible to intercept the Russian onslaught. Jeremy Zhu, Cable News.
The city's retail sales rose by 8.6% year-on-year in April, extending the sector's recovery for a 12th consecutive month. Provisional figures showed retail sales reached $31.4 billion in April, increased by 8.6% over a year earlier, but fell short of market expectations of 13.7%. Among the stronger performing segments, sales of motor vehicles and parts surged 46.1%, while electrical goods and other consumer durables rose 21.9%. The recovery is supported by continued growth in visitor arrivals and holiday spending. Looking ahead, the government spokesman said the retail sector should continue to benefit from ongoing economic expansion, notable increase in inbound visitors, and resilient consumption sentiment. Now let's take a look at the stock market. The Hang Seng Index ended the day up 640 points. Top active stocks of the day: Tencent was up $45.60. Alibaba was up $8.10. SMIC was up $2.50. Lenovo was up $1.34. Foreign exchange against the Hong Kong dollar: Euro 9.13, Canadian dollar 5.66. On to the weather now, mainly cloudy with isolated showers. The minimum temperature will be about 29 degrees tomorrow morning. Very hot with sunny periods during the day. The maximum temperature will be around 34 degrees in the urban areas and a couple of degrees higher in the new territories. Now let's take a look at the weather around the world. And that's our news tonight. I'm Cheryl Yun. Thanks for watching and good night.